Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Saturday live stream. So, I'm actually on a new computer today, and hopefully, the actual graphics are better on this computer than usual. And I'm going to test my little computer out today just to actually see if the actual volume is actually. All right, cool. Just try to check myself on my phone here to see if my volume is actually working on here, because sometimes the microphone isn't always plugged in or set up the right way. All right, so I was actually going through my little storage room the other day, and I came across some old newspapers that I had been saving for damn 2009. So where are we at? 16 years now. Well, November will be 16 years. I've had these newspapers for 16 years. And why have I had these particular newspapers for 16 years? It's because of the significance of the event regarding these particular newspapers. But I don't want to just dive right into today's main topic. I do want to kind of talk about some of the things that are going to be happening in the upcoming months. So, backyard. Backyard fun this week or this summer. So I've always said that Louisville is, in my estimation, Seattle light. All it does in Louisville is rain, right? And I have this nice big open backyard. And in Kentucky, the neighborhood that we live in was at one point a great big open forest area. All of the big old trees that are in the backyard or backyard area, you could look at the brook area in the back. You know that this whole area used to be forest, and at some point, it was cut down to make housing. And you look at the actual trees and the size of the trees. Oh yeah, it's not just your run of the mill trees. I mean, these darn things are enormous. But we are thinking about building an actual pool. I've never had a pool, but I don't want to go to the YMCA or go to some community pool or something like that. And I don't want some small circular pool, I don't know, what is it, like 14 by 24 circular pool. No, I want some actual pool that I can do laps in, something I can actually utilize for actual exercise. So I got online, did some research, found some advertisements on Facebook, of course, and found a reputable company that builds pools. And with that steep steep decline in my backyard, they will actually build a nice size pool. Got to build a got to build a nice a wall, because with that decline, they got to build some kind of wall to actually brace that and kind of level out the pool and everything. But we're gonna get something that's like 16 by 32, so it's gonna be an enormous size pool that I can actually do laps and everything. And I'm probably gonna spend the summer lounging in that pool area, man. So that's probably means that videos this summer is probably going to be on hiatus, and you're probably going to go back to those 2 videos a week that I kind of was talking about at the beginning of 2025, if it goes through. It may not happen. Funds might fall through, of course, but I'm hoping everything goes through accordingly. And if it does, uh, I'm finally gonna have my down dream pool. Cause damn, like I said, man, I'm retired, right? And I kind of want my house, I want everything in the house to be where I don't have to go anywhere to where I don't have to go to the gym to work out. I have my personal home gym, have my own sauna or my own hot tub, have my own pro pool. So, you know, have my own gaming systems, uh, TVs and everything. So that's to me, I want my house to be set up for comfort and enjoyment and pleasure and everything. So, yeah, obviously you're gonna have to leave the house sometimes because it's kind of a necessity. Get out and get some sun. But the whole purpose of a home life is to have enjoyment and pleasure, right? But that's kind of like what I'm looking at. But back to those darn trees, man. Those darn trees, like I said, those darn assholes are like 30, 40, 50 feet tall. And now I got to find someone that could come in and cut those suckers down. Also building this pool, man, I hate grass. I hate cutting grass and cutting grass on that darn hill that's at a steep decline, man. That's a pain in the ass. So having that pool, everything, that's going to eliminate a whole area of grass I have to cut. So that's going to save me a lot of time. So that's going to be fantastic. Also, kind of like a side note, I talked about uh I talked about these what was it? Oh man, I hate the little momentary lapse in thought. I should not be drinking because it does not help with the thought process. Lawsuits. So a friend of mine when I was on deployment, he goes on this website and they have all these different lawsuits. Now they're not like your prototypical, multi-million dollar lawsuit type of things. It's like what's like an example? Let's say People versus Campbell Soup. I don't know if Campbell Soup is being sued. I just use them as an example. Now, what is Campbell Soup lawsuit? Well, let's say for example, it might be something like, hey, if you bought tomato Campbell soup back in January 1st through March 13th of 2021, you're authorized, $1 for every can that you bought. If you bought one can, you could put down you bought one can and they'll send you a check for $1. If you bought two cans, then you got to show a receipt that you bought two cans. If you bought five cans, you got to show a receipt that you bought five cans. And that's how that works. Same thing. Like, let's say if you bought a cosmetic from this company, you bought three packages and, they'll send you a check for like $2. It's that type of deal. So if you bought a canned soup you bought a tomato canned soup from Campbell's back in 2019 or whatever it is I said, you just fill out this little lawsuit and you get a check in the mail for $2. Hey, I bought two cans. And to be honest, in this lawsuit, whether or not you bought tomato soup from Campbell's at X store in this state or not is irrelevant. They don't care if you bought Campbell's soup. With these lawsuits, they just want to put it out there to the public. Hey, there's a lawsuit going on, and they want plaintiffs. It could be 1,000 plaintiffs. It could be 1,000,000 plaintiffs. If they've got $5 million allocated to pay out to the plaintiffs, guess what? If there's 1,000 plaintiffs, there's $5 million to be allocated to 1,000 plaintiffs. If there's 5 million plaintiffs, there's $5 million to be allocated, which means each plaintiff gets $1. So it really doesn't matter how many plaintiffs there are. They just have a dollar set, and that's how many people get paid out, right? So uh, that's that's basically what it was for me when I kind of heard about this 3M lawsuit. Because 3M is, for in the military, they have multiple hearing aids that they give to the soldiers. They have like these little rubber things, the three flang and one flang earplugs that you put in. They have like little foam earplugs that they put in, etc. So they have multiple different contracts with the military for different hearing aids. When you go to the range or anytime you board a M150, M1 or C1 or C150, C130, etc., they give you different hearing aids. You know, Air Force, they hand you out the hearing plugs, hearing aids. So when I saw that lawsuit, I'm like, okay, fine. I'll fill out one of those little suckers. I honestly thought it was going to be a lawsuit just like that type of Campbell soup example I gave you guys. You fill it out, maybe you get a couple dollars check in the mail. No. That lawsuit actually took like over 3 years before I saw anything in return. And I talked to someone on the phone for the longest time, and there were different waves, different payouts for different people and whatnot. So that thing took forever. And the way that they kind of talked about it with different people with different hearing losses, people actually are getting like $1 million returns and $1.5 million returns and $250,000 return. I'm like, damn. I'm hearing this stuff and I'm like, this is serious. And you guys know all about my hearing loss. Like I have severe hearing loss. I mean, is it part of that? Was it had anything to do with 3M? I think so. Now, up until this case, I probably wouldn't have put two and two together. But when I started thinking back, when we started again, you don't know better. Like you don't know to ask questions until people start asking you about certain things, and then you start thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, and now it started come together. It's starting to make sense because that's the only hearing aids that you use, and that crap does not work. It doesn't sit in your ear right, and it's like at the same time you're better off not using hearing aids at all. So when you've got the buttstock next to your shoulder and you're at the firing range and you're shooting, that crap is going right off in your ear. Or if you're on a C-130 and that shit is loud as hell, okay? And if you're traveling from like Kuwait to Iraq, whatever, or you're on a rotary and you're traveling from like Herat to Shindan or something like that from while you're in Afghanistan, etc. So that's that crap is it's you're exposed to severe noise. You always see these commercials about severe hearing loss while in the military, and it doesn't really occur to you while you're actually serving, but when you're out of the military and even in contracting, like I realize how bad my hearing is nowadays. Like I gotta have my TV all the way up. Like most people have their volume on like 10, 15. I gotta put that sucker up to like 60. And I'm like 10 feet from the TV, 6 feet from the TV. So I got a nice chunk of change from that. I mean, not no $100,000, not like crazy money like they were talking about, but I mean, I got enough money to buy me a hot tub. Let's just put it that way. So I got about a $5,000 out of that, which was nice. I was a whole expect. I mean, they got my hopes up. They got me thinking I was gonna make a whole lot of money off of that, but still, I mean, it wasn't no $2. But after my shoulder injury in Iraq, And, I came home. If it wasn't for that injury, I'd still be in Iraq. A few more months of work in there with what I had saved at the time. A few more months, my house would have been paid off by now. So a few more months, my house would have paid off. We're talking over 3 years later. I still have been working. The amount of money I could have been working overseas, I probably would have bounced around from Iraq. I probably would have been in Syria earning even more money. So I think that the insurance and the lawyer are coming together and they're realizing that, hey, all those lost wages, they're kind of coming together and thinking like, hey, we got to get this guy paid. All those years he's been home, he's been basically living off of his savings account. So what can we do now to try and get some of that lost wage back? I'm like, hell yeah, that's freaking awesome. So a few weeks ago, I was talking about, possible life-changing events potentially coming. This might be it. So maybe I could finally be able to pay off my house. Hopefully. Maybe that's a possibility. Um, maybe even pay off this pool if possible. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Hey, what's going on, Stone Cold? How you doing, brother? Mm. Uh, so that's happening. That is what's happening with me in the short term. Now, all right. The Irish Rebel. What's up, buddy? That's good, my friend. Today, folks, this is kind of an important video for me, guys, because when I was going through my storage unit, right? Not my storage unit, my storage closet where I have some of my secondary collections, right? I came across this newspaper. I lived in Killeen for like 13 years, right? And I always forget the name of the Killeen newspaper, the Killeen Daily Herald. But this title, Massacre on Post, this one is an absolute heartbreaker. Hey, that's good, buddy. This one, guys, this one is dated Friday, November 6th, 2009. So this happened the day before, which would have been November 5th, 2009. Think about this, guys. Just a few months prior, we got home from a 15-month combat deployment. You spend 15 months in the desert, 15 months in Iraq. You come home, you think you're safe, you're with family, you're back to normalcy. Then shit like this happens just a few months later. What the hell was his name? Major Hassan Nadal, I think his name was. Major. The man was a goddamn army officer. Not even that. Not only Was this man an army officer? I think he was a psychiatrist to boot. So you are an army officer and you work in the mental health profession, and this is what you do. It just goes to show that you're not safe no matter where you are in the world. But I remember that day perfectly. It freaking sucks that even to this day, with all of my memory loss, and I no, I don't even joke. I say it realistically. When I say I have Alzheimer's, and I think a lot of times someone might take it like he's being sarcastic or he's being melodramatic or he's overestimating his. I don't think so, man. Like whenever I kind of bring it up to the doctors, they're like, you know what, you're too young for Alzheimer's, but I don't know any other way to kind of describe it because whenever you see like these long pauses and stuff, that's really like my struggle to remember the most simplest of words and remember the simplest of words or simplest of memories. It's like, but something like this, the memory is so freaking vivid. And we're back at the warehouse, back at the SSA, and there's all these gunshots going off. And you know what? It's Fort Hood. Hearing gunshots on Fort Hood is not out of the norm. All right, you're thinking, okay, you know what? Somebody's at the firing range. It's not a big deal. It's not unique. It's not out of the realm of normalcy to hear gunshots. Not until not until you start hearing everybody start going crazy and starting closing down the post and everybody starts locking up. Not until the alarm starts sounding and you hear a word from the CO start for lockdown. Now, in 2009, my wife and I, we live in family housing, obviously. My wife and I, we moved into family housing right after my first deployment. So my first deployment ended in November of '06. So wife and I moved on post in '06, November of '06. So we've been on post for 3 years at this point. I don't know what the hell's going on. None of us really know what the hell's happening. And we're hearing contradicting stories of what the hell's happening. We're hearing that there's an active shooter around post. And all I'm thinking is, my freaking all I'm worried about is my freaking wife. Because where our warehouse was, where our motor pool was, because our warehouse is like right here, like right next door to our warehouse. Our SSA is our motor pool, and our house was probably a couple miles away, probably about a 5-minute drive to McNair Village. So, if there's an active shooter within the vicinity of our motor pool and whatnot, how close is it to our village, to our housing area? If my wife is out driving or whatnot, again, there's a lot of things that are going through my mind at this time. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only person. I'm not the only soldier, the only married soldier who has a wife who lives on post. So, I'm not the only one that's thinking this. We hear active shooter, but how many shooters? Is it one shooter? Is there multiple shooters? And again, it's not like it's just active shooter. The way that they said it, it made it sound like this person was, or this person or these people were like literally going through the neighborhoods and stuff. So that, I think that further exasperated the issue and made me freak out even more. So I'm trying to call the wife. I'm not getting a hold of her and everything. So that's freaking me out even more. So I'm trying to call her to, tell her to get inside and stay inside, lock the doors, whatever. I'm not getting a hold of her, and that's creeping me the hell out. As it turns out, the shooting actually came from a few miles down the road. Few miles. And we were able to hear this shooting. So every time that you go on deployment, you kind of got to do this round robin deal. Different units, they showed up to kind of like the CRC type of deal. And you got to get your medical records seen, got to get your shots, etc. Your what they call it, PHR, PH. I forget what it's called, man. It's been a while since I've been through that stuff. But it's almost an all day damn type of deal. But it's military and dental, just all the stuff you got to go through, all this process. This Major Nadal Hassan, he's gonna sit there and he's going to claim that this was religious, or whatnot. But I have a theory, and it's a very simple theory. This wasn't anything about being against war. This wasn't anything about, him being Arab and not wanting to fight, in Iraq or Afghanistan or anything like that. This wasn't him. Again, this wasn't about him wanting to protest, fighting overseas or anything like that. This wasn't about jihad or anything bullshit, like anything that he's gonna argue. No. Plain and simple, I think he was just a straight up coward. I think, simply put, the man just did not want to go to war. Think about this. There are 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who go to war. 17, 18, 19-year-olds who die in war. This is a goddamn major. And he works in the medical field. In reality, how much danger does he think he was going to be in Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever the hell he was going? But this fucking coward had the audacity to walk into a damn CRC and shoot up the place because he was too much of a goddamn coward to go fight in the goddamn war. And murdered a dozen people and injured, what was it, 24 other people? Haven't thought about this son of a bitch in over a decade and a half. I think if you're a soldier, unless you actually, were family of the deceased, I don't think you give any mind to this scumbag. And the only reason I'm thinking about this clown right now is because I came across, the newspaper, and this was an important topic of discussion. Otherwise, I would not have thought twice about this clown. I didn't do no research on this asshole. I don't know if he's still alive today. Again, I'm not going to give two thoughts about this guy afterwards. I know that there was a whole big ordeal about him growing out his beard while in Leavenworth and whatnot, and for like religious reasons, like the military wasn't going to force him to shave his beard or some BS. And then finally, they're like, you know what? You're part of the UCMJ. Yeah, we're going to force you to shave your beard. Like, why was that even an issue? You're still a damn soldier, even if you're stripped of your rank. You're still, or you're still in a military prison. You're still falling under military guidelines. Shave that shit. Screw freaking religion at that point. I don't give a damn. You murdered how many goddamn, you murdered a dozen people. You almost killed a dozen and a half more people. How, throw religion out of the damn window at that point. I'm sorry, but I understand that religion is important for a lot of people, but do you give credibility to someone like this? Massacre on post. 12 dead in Fort Hood rampage. Gunman survives. Worst mass shooting in history at a U.S. military base. Off topic, I know, but your WCW Globe collection is top notch. Hey, Stoke, man, thanks you, brother. Yeah, man. Not off topic, man. Trust me. The collections are always important to talk about. So, hey, feel free to interrupt me anytime with collection talk, because when it comes to the collections, you know, that's never off base, right? Because you know that after all is the bread and butter when it comes to the channel, right? So the I think WCW Series 2, I think Arn Anderson. I think Arn Anderson Series 2 MOC is the last figure that I need to complete that collection. Now, there are a couple tag teams from Series 2 that I need, but I'm only looking at like the single figures to complete that collection. So I think Series 2 Arn Anderson, and for tag teams, the Robed, Luger, and Sting, and is that it? I think that might be it. No, the Freebirds on dual card. So a tag team of Freebirds and the tag team of Robed, Luger, and Sting, and individual Arn Anderson. That's really all the figures I need to complete that WCW Gloob. So I want to say that I may never get those, but then again, I never thought I was going to get the Robed individual Lex Luger. So you know what? You really can never say never. It all depends on, you know, who really sees your collection and who reaches out to you. Because Nathan over at Ohio Figures, he saw my collection and he reached out. He's the one that actually reached out to me and like, hey, I got the Steiner brothers. I got the Robe. I got the Robe Lex Luger. Are you interested in picking these guys up? Hell yeah, man. Heck yeah. Now with guys like that who I bought from like a million times, I'm like, look, I can't afford to buy these from you, you know, straight up as they are, because you know the asking price was just, you know, way up there. But what I can do is like, look, hold on to the figures. What I'll do is you hold on to the figures. I will PayPal you X amount of money. And every so often, let's say every week or every couple of weeks, I'll PayPal you X amount more money. And what that does is it ensures that he knows that, hey, I'm still gonna give him X amount of money every so often, because if he just sends me the figures and let's say I give him $500 and he sends me the figures and we agreed on 1,500, let's say, I could just simply screw him over and be like, I got the figures. I don't have to give you that extra $1,000. But I mean, I wouldn't do that, especially knowing that, hey, he and I have a great relationship. Haven't bought from him so often, but by doing it this way, it gives him that comfort level. And I've done that with other sellers as well. People that I bought from before, people that I have a good relationship with, people I trust. So I'm fine doing it that way, and that allows me to save some money, because every so often when I get paid, it's easier on me financially, and it gives them some level of comfort, and it helps me build my collection. But yeah, that was incredible that he reached out to me and asked me if I was interested. That was pretty special. But Galoob is I'm so close to completing that collection, man. I'm I would love to say that that collection is 100% complete by the time I do my Tuesday shows, and but with LJN, nearing its end in about 3 weeks, and then the Remco's coming afterwards, and Remco's will be done in about 5 or 6 weeks. Galoob is only going to take about 3 weeks to complete that series, so I don't think I'll have anything done in the next 12 weeks or so. But I mean, that is something that I'm looking forward to finishing, hopefully in the next year or so. But it all depends on being available. Being available. Oh, sorry. Strong drink, man. My words are being slurred right now. Yeah, man. Shoot. The Robed Lex Luger. That one is basically a perfect figure. He's like the Series 6 Ultimate Warrior from LJN. Basically the same fighting pose. So, the LJN like Ultimate Warrior is almost a perfect figure in my opinion, and it's roughly the same figure. So I love it. Are we still recording? Sorry, my computer kind of shut down on me. So hopefully we're still going. Everyone's still seeing me. Looks like we're still recording. Somebody give me a thumbs up. We're still good. All right, I'm gonna assume that we're still going. It's still showing live, so all right. All right, awesome. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, man. Computer kind of went black on me, so I'm like, oh shoot. This computer right here, it's a gaming computer, and my freaking wife spent a fortune on it, and it's been sitting on my kitchen countertop for like months and months. My wife bought it for her WoW video game or whatever you call it, and I guess her other gaming computer didn't have enough space on it or something, so she bought this one, and I'm like, no. But it's just been sitting on the darn kitchen countertop. I'm like, well, if you're not ever going to use this, then I'm going to use it. Because the one that she bought me, the last computer she bought me, it was supposed to be an upgrade over that Google Chromebook, and I don't like it. The new computer she bought me, like the picture quality is not the greatest. So I decided to pull this laptop out and see if the picture quality is improved. So I might start using this computer instead. All right. All right. Kind of go back. I don't know where I kind of left off on this. Sorry, I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between, but this was a huge deal. Hassan. And if you guys have anything to talk about, like don't feel bad about interrupting me. Definitely feel free to reach out if you have something that you like to talk about. But I know that the Fort Hood shooting to me, it's basically going to be the main topic of discussion for today's live stream. But the last time I kind of looked into it, and I know it was something that he wasn't really something that I have been thinking much about. But the last time I looked into it briefly, uh, I think he was still alive. This is what, 2013, I think. Like, I don't know if he's on death row or something, or if he's in life in prison. Like, if it's 2013, I don't know if it's 2013. I mean, where was I in 2013? Afghanistan? Yeah, I was in Afghanistan. I was with Mantech in 2013. But I'm like, dude, man, just he he killed 12 people, man. 12, what was it? 12 people or 13 people? I think he killed 12 people. I think he killed 12 people and he maimed like 18 or something like that. I forget the exact numbers. I don't know if you guys can make this. Look at that guy. He freaking looks like a damn psychopath. Could you imagine sitting down and terrible tragedy strikes Fort Hood community? Yeah, I would say so. I don't know if it was the next day or the day after. We we had to march from our company, and I think we had to go up to, where was it? I think we marched up to Division, and because President Bush had flown in, and he had given a speech at Fort Hood. So I think everyone had, I think everyone in at least 4ID. I don't know if it was the entire base or not, but at least everyone in 4ID had come in, had marched up to Division to see President Bush come in and give a speech on the situation. And it was pretty freaking moving, man. I actually would have liked to have met Bush, President Bush directly. Shook his shake his hand directly or something. But the whole freaking event, everything about that was just shady and just effed up. I mean, like I said, just you're coming off a 15-month deployment. Deployments back then, you either had a 12-month deployment or you had a 15-month deployment. But you look at deployments nowadays, and they cut deployments down. So now you're only military nowadays, they're only doing 9 months. And I'm like, 9 months? To me, 9 months is like a complete waste of time. Like, it's not even worth deploying for 9 months. like special forces when they deploy for 6 months. I could understand SF going out for 6 months. The tax that it puts on you for SF doing 6 months, I understand, but regular army going out for 9 months. I mean, going through like Kuwait for training and all that stuff, you're probably out for like a month, and then coming into like Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever you're going to, let's say Iraq, you're setting up for about a month or so, and then breaking down for like a month, and then going into like tents, whatever, for like the last month. It doesn't even seem worth it. So your deployment's not even 9 months; it's more like 7.5. So it just seems wasteful. Hey Corey, what's going on, buddy? Up with coworkers from time to time. Yeah, definitely, buddy. What I think is even worse, like I said, mass murderer, and how do they keep someone like that alive? Keep him in and keep him alive in Leavenworth for X amount of years. I don't know I haven't looked into it, so I don't know for sure if he's still alive today. But I would assume that he probably still is. And why have they not put this man to death already? Sheer cowardice just because you don't want to go to a combat zone. And we all know straight up that it had nothing to do with not wanting to fight, that you don't support war or not wanting to fight against your countrymen or what have you. That's all BS. You just didn't want to go to war. You got 18 and 19-year-olds who have gone to war. You have 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds have gone to war already twice. You've got guys who are 23, 24 who've gone to war 3 or 4 times. How are you 24 or 24, 25 years old and you're getting ready to go to war have already been to war 4 times already? You're a soldier, you've enlisted and you've been to war and you've enlisted at 17, 18 years old, and you're now 24, 25 years old, and you've been to war 4 times because you know what? You're 1 year on, 1 year off in the military. And you've gone to war 4 freaking times. But here we have a freaking medical professional and a major and a freaking officer with a freaking cozy damn office job, afraid to go overseas. I'm just freaking wondering. A major overseas, I mean, what the hell would he have made? $6,000 or $7,000 a month? Combat pay, tax exemption. He would have had a damn room to himself. I mean, he would have freaking lived it up. He's a freaking officer, man. 12 months, and that wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't have been 12 months. It would have been like 11 and a half months. Plus, 2 weeks, 18 days, whatever in between. So in between, you go to Kuwait for a few days before you travel stateside. So you're probably in Kuwait for 2 or 3 days before you catch a flight stateside. It's just stupid. This man's whole life could have been so different. I don't know if this man had been had ever served overseas before. I didn't look it up. I don't care to look it up because I don't give a damn. I'm assuming he has never served overseas before. I'm assuming he hasn't. He may have. It's irrelevant. But assuming he hasn't, having that combat patch on your right shoulder, that I'm telling you, for being a soldier, having that patch on your right shoulder, it's something. I can't tell you how special that makes you feel as a soldier to have that right there. It makes all the difference in the world. You got a couple different unit patches to slap up there at a given notice, man. Shoot. How many family lives did he screw over? Hmm. But I think at 50 minutes plus, I've spent enough time on this clown who ruined so many freaking lives. Hmm. I didn't even know until like maybe a year ago that it's not even called Fort Hood anymore. That they changed the name to like something stupid as hell, like Curvasis or something like that. Like they changed that like years ago, and I'm like, wait, what? You're changing history now. Just yeah, yeah, man. Shoot, Corey, man, they got me screwed up on that one, buddy. Uh, mm, I don't think I don't think I knew any of the families directly or any of the soldiers directly, but I always say it's to me it's always been relevant. Um, it's like when you're on deployment, right? And you're reading through Stars and Stripes, and you're reading about the soldiers who've died, airmen, seamen, etc. Anyone who's died, Marines. It's all irrelevant, whether you know them or not. Service member dies. That's still family. That's still part of the service member family. So when you hear a fellow soldier has died or something like that, it definitely tugs at the hearts. So, and hearing the quantity of people that have died, it's like, I mean, these are just people that are just doing their job right. They're just going to CRC, trying to just doing their job, just simplicity, man. Just going in, just doing their job, just to go through in processing, get their medical stuff, get their shots, get their dental done, get their why the hell can't I remember the darn abbreviation? PHRP. I can't remember the abbreviation. It's driving me nuts. But and just to have someone walk in and start shooting up the place for no damn reason. So many things that this asshole could have done to get out of it. You know what? He could have taken his involuntary separation or something. It's depressing as hell to think about. Mm. Hey, cheers, Corbin. We always appreciate you, brother. Living up in jail, definitely. I hope that man's getting his ass beat every fucking day, man. You know, it's one thing for like guys who might be up there like freaking selling drugs or something, man. But if this guy's up there like knowing that this man's a damn, I don't know if you could call him a serial killer because serial killer doesn't really fit this mold, but mass murderer. Mm, 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 mm. Why do I always feel like these live streams always go by so darn fast? Like, how are we already at an hour? I'm sorry, guys, but there's no way I've been talking for an hour already. But I can either stop this at an hour or I can keep going past like an hour, hour and a half. But, uh, all right. You know what it was? My dumbass was talking about that stupid pool at the beginning of the video. uh, oh, I'm trying to think. LJN videos, guys. I've already filmed my thumb wrestler video for Tuesday, and I mentioned that I'm actually extending my LJN video out another week because freaking posters. I forgot about posters. So uh I'm gonna do thumb wrestlers this week. Next week I'm doing stretch wrestlers, 16-inch figures, video games, and the ring. The following week I'm going to do posters, and then the week after that I'm going to do the prototypes and middleways. So that's going to be the Tuesday show, and that's going to close out the LJN Wrestling Superstars. Pencil topper. Do I have any pencil toppers? I don't think I have any of those. I don't think I have any for. I don't think I have any for the LJNs. Unless those. What do they call them? I already forget the name of them. Now the ones I do have, I think those might have been 1990s. So I think those, post date LJN. But then again, some of the video games that I have are definitely post date LJN, like the Royal Rumble and Raw video games for like Super Nintendo. So those might be part of them. I call them cake toppers. Squirt heads, yes. Thank you. You know what? I do have a couple of squirt heads. Not a lot. I think I have probably two of them, but I can definitely throw squirt heads in there as well. And I'm glad you know what? Thank you. Shoot. I wouldn't have even thought about those. Like I said, I don't have a lot of those. I only have like two of them, but I gotta get on eBay now. I gotta get on eBay and I gotta find more of them because when I make my videos, I always buy and I always build my collection based on the videos that I make. And I damn, what do I have? I think I have. I don't even remember. I gotta go downstairs and look at what I have. I think I have Bossman and Warrior. No, actually, I have no idea what I have. That's sad. That is sad when you have such a massive collection that you can't even keep track of everything that you have. But those squirt heads, I mean, I have to have them on card, of course, because I just can't buy them loose because that's just weird. I just don't like them as loose figures. But if I get them on card, they're gonna probably cost me like $40, and I don't think that's a valuable price. But da, 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 da. Besides the Sid Vicious in the first wave, what was your next favorite of the WCW Gloobs? Sid Vicious, second favorite figure from WCW. Barry Windham. I think Sid Vicious and Barry Windham together. I think I've always said that if you have Barry Windham and Sid Vicious together, all the other figures be damned. Those two figures are perfect in tandem. So I think Sid Vicious, Barry Windham, and Butch Reed. Those are got to be the top three best WCW Gloop figures. And if I were to fill out a top five, I'd probably say maybe the robed Lex Luger at number 4. And number 5 would probably be maybe Michael Hayes or Jimmy Garvin if I had to pick a top 5. So, and that's just based on play pose. So, I think either one of those would be, playable figures. So, no, I take it back. Dustin Rhodes would probably be number 5. Actually, Dustin Rhodes might be number 4. Either way you look at it, those 5 would be the top 5 picks. So that one's pretty easy. But Barry Windham most definitely because of play pose. Do you have any of the WWE blow up boxing? Ooh, blow up boxing bot bags. Nothing blow up, unfortunately. Hey, I think I need you guys to kind of send me some recommendations because some of this stuff I don't know anything about. But if it's like LJN related, I think I need to start picking some of the stuff up because especially when I make like these LJN videos, I definitely need stuff that's like I need to make these LJN videos as complete as possible, right? Now, when it comes to like these, wrestling, what do you call them? These workout, box sets, right? That are selling for like $1,300. Oh man, my speech is messed up. $1,300. I'm probably not going to go for that because of the sheer price, the price tag that's associated with it. But something that's like that's realistically priced, absolutely. I got to go for that stuff because I got to go for the stuff that's I want to make these my videos as 100% complete as possible. And I got to go for the carded stuff, and I got to go for the loose stuff as well. Damn. My wife makes me these drinks, and I think she puts as much alcohol in the stuff as possible because like my mind is messed up like right now, like crazy. Wow. Oh, I'm gonna get out of the way a little bit because recently I did get the WrestleMania arcade game and the Super Nintendo Raw game in as well. So those two video games did include the posters, so I did add those as well to the wall. I like this setup as well. I like this a lot. That's one of the reasons why I started filming in this room because I started adding all the stuff to the like this wall was like completely blank. I never used this wall before, but now that I've started putting stuff on this wall, I'm not the best decorator in the world, and obviously I'm not the best hanger upper, but I like the way it looks. It's okay. Mm. There are 10 seasons worth of videos of actual All Japan wrestling matches. He just dropped one a few minutes ago, actually, a Battle Royal match. Sweet. Awesome. Mm. Oh, God. I'm going to be so drunk right now. Also, guys, I'm thinking what seems to be like a hot topic is people that film before and after videos. So I'm probably going to do like a backyard scene of like what my backyard looks like right now with the tree and everything. And I'm going to find some way to kind of incorporate that video. Maybe when the tree trimmers come and cut that tree down, try and incorporate that video with it. And when the pool when the pool guys come and they start installing the pool, maybe I can incorporate that video as well. So before and after videos of all that. So that should actually be pretty fun. I kind of have a feeling that might actually do pretty freaking awesome and might actually get a few thousand views. Maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? But I think that might be a fun video to kind of add to the channel. The thing is, I like trees. I think trees are a great aspect of a house, but I I love my house. Like I plan on making this a forever home, right? Like I don't want to move. Like I will forever look at myself as a Chicagoan, born and raised in Chicago, but I also lived in Texas for 13 years, and I've spent the last 7+ years here in Louisville, Kentucky. So, does that mean that I spend the rest of my life in Kentucky? Does that mean I'm a Kentuckian? I guess so. If I didn't have such a perfect house here, I guess so. Playtime Wrestling Federation YouTube channel. Man, Bone Breaking Action is not going to like that. BBA is going to watch my video. He's going to be like, Gay Time Wrestling. Now, BBA and I, we have a fun time talking about that. I'll check them out, see what they got to say, see what they got. But he just dropped one a few minutes ago. Yeah, I think I wrote that already. Mm, I think me and Kirk might actually go to BBA's house this summer and hang out with him for a while. Actually, I've talked about it already. This summer, I actually want to do some traveling, And I kind of want to hang out with some guys this summer and kind of like do some filming and make some videos just because I haven't I haven't done any traveling or anything like that. And if I do get some extra finances, I want to do something for myself and kind of travel the countryside and whatnot. It just seems like something that would interest me. And hanging out with some friends and some YouTubers, whatnot. Why not? It's just one of those things that I think would be pretty interesting. But guys, we're at an hour and 10 minutes, and I think this is a good ending point. I don't want these live streams to go too long because I know a lot of folks that want to watch my videos later on don't want to watch like 2-hour live streams. They want something that's manageable. So I am going to end the live stream here, guys. But if you guys have anything of interest, topics of discussion or anything, definitely reach out to me. Let me know what you're thinking. And, during the next week's live stream, excuse me, we'll be able to talk about it during that time period. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I always appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the comments and everything. I always love hearing from you guys. And until next week, guys. Thanks, everybody. Hey, Robert. Glad to see you, guys. Uh, yeah, man. That would be awesome, buddy. That'd be pretty freaking fun. That's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Kind of like, traveling a little bit and kind of seeing what's happening. And there are a couple other friends that I'm looking forward to kind of like traveling to. And you know what? If we could do some live streams together, that'd be pretty freaking fun. Hey, Rob, I'm just doing pretty good, buddy. How about yourself, man? Oh, man. That's good, buddy. Pretty much at the end of my drink and end of my video, and kind of heavy in the head right now, so I'm pretty much gonna end the stream here, bud. But feel free to go back and watch the stream, man. And StreamYard, you know what? BBA's been talking about that as well. So I'll look into that, man. I still haven't gotten into that, man. Shoot. But once my head is cleared out, I'll definitely look into it. Hey, thanks, Corbin. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, everybody. Good night, man. Take care, everyone. Hey, good night, Rob.